Welcome, 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 Cancer. This is your August reading. My name is G. Thank you so much for being here. I am going to take a walk with you through your August energies. I'm going to give you some cards also so you can have a visual. August is going to have 2 new beginnings and 1 ending. Okay, so you'll have a card for each event. We're going to pull the first card down right here. This will be for the new beginning that happens in August. And then there will be a closure, a completion, and an ending for August. And then there will be another new beginning for August. So let's get these cards. I'm hearing shuffle them one more time for you. So I'm going to do that right here. One more time. And then we'll pull your cards. So I have a selenite heart there. At the center, we're using our higher heart and our higher mind for this reading. And here we go. First card is going to be for your beginning in August. This is for the ending, the completion. What are you finishing up? What are you closing out? And this is for the other new beginning in August. All right. So Cancer, your first new beginning has to do with your values. Your values, your money, your income, your moolah. This could be love, right? Who do you love, right? When you think of the word value, it's not just money in the bank. It's not just like material, tangible, like, ooh, shiny. It can also be self-love, valuing yourself, right? And sometimes when we value ourselves, we make changes. We do things differently, right? We start making different decisions, different choices come up, and then we take action. So we're going to go a little bit deeper than that, though, before we pull the card. Now, this is interesting. This is a fun energy. This is kind of like a Leo energy. So it's my fun, my children, my joy, my creative endeavors, my creative projects. This is my happy place. This is how I uniquely express and radiate. You value that. You value an independent form of expressing. You value that. You have courage. Matter of fact, you are very courageous. You do not mind standing out from the crowd. That is your thing. You love to be able to stand out from the crowd. There's something about standing out, not so much to gain everybody's attention. It's not about necessarily that. I mean, it can be. There can be times where you're like, hey, I got something to say, damn it, But it's also that you're not a follower. You're going to be someone who is really more about, I value what I value. And it's not because you value it, it's because I value it, right? So there's courage in that. All right, there's courage. And when somebody has courage, well, they kind of stand out, right? Instead of all the other ones who are, what do they call them? Like being cattle, right? Just being in the herd and just following the crowd. You have your own set of values, and that's important. One of the things about this is you would just be aware of the courage and keeping the group in mind, right? Not squashing others in the group. So it's courage. It has to do with your income and your money and your values, but having a good time is part of this, and likely there could be some romance involved, like mating, relating, and dating. Okay. Taking a risk in that area, maybe taking a risk with your values as well. So let's see what this card says. Remember, this is a new beginning in all of this, a new beginning. Interesting. Very interesting. What does this mean for you? Well, the past is involved. This is all very watery. First off, we got the moon. So it's history. It's the past. It screams your emotional security. It does scream new moon. Like it's just after the new moon. A new moon is all black in the sky. We can't really see it, but this is just a sliver of that new moon. Interesting. Or some could see it the other way around. But if it was a full moon, it would be all white. So it's just a sliver. So it shows a new beginning. Wow, this is powerful, Cancer. Because it kind of reinforces this new moon that's happening literally with the astrology. What I'm finding fascinating about this card, because Cancer is water, it's home and it's family, something that happened from childhood, possibly healing the inner child, right? There is also Neptune energy involved, dreams, right? Was childhood, Was there something fuzzy about childhood? Like there wasn't, the emotional security wasn't there. Maybe home was a little unstable at times, or you take it the other route. In your mind, home was perfect. It was ideal. It was beautiful. It was amazing, right? It was like a fantasy. You know, it's the same energy, but there's two ends to one line of energy. Okay, so there's something here where home kind of can disappear too, because it's the sign of Neptune, right? It makes home a little fuzzy. It also speaks to mom being fuzzy, right? Something about somebody's in a slumber, a sleeping beauty. Was mom kind of like the sleeping beauty? Is there a mother wound situation going on? Let me turn this so I can get a better look, because I haven't honestly analyzed the card. I always like to look at all the details. So in the coffin, the sleeping beauty. Yeah, we'll say it's not a coffin, but it's the glass case. How's that? Yeah, she's definitely sleeping. She's definitely healthy. Nice, beautiful, beautiful hair. There is this child energy, though. See the little hand and the big hand. I didn't even get to see that, but there's something there from the past. You know, the hands are barely touching. It's almost like the child was disconnected from mom. The adult, like here's an adult who's just sleeping, who wasn't really on the job. There's something here about the past and the home. Was the home unstable? Because Neptune can make the home disappear. Neptune is 5D energy. It can make stuff disappear, which means it can heal all the wounds of the past. Okay. It can give understanding. That's the beauty of Neptune energy. It gives understanding. So with this understanding, there's a new beginning, and it has to do with your values. So it's likely going to change values of self. And that's what happens. When we heal this stuff, we have a new value for ourselves. And if you had that epiphany, maybe you've already had it, but this can help a lot of other folks too, because Leo energy can be very inspirational for others. All right. So you have that kind of energy. And it's in the placement of values, which means there's a possibility you can use that inspiring talk, that inspiring creations, forms of expression to help others, to help them, and possibly children who've been through the same thing or who are going through the same thing. But it is a healing and a closure to the past. And yeah, the possibility of a new you awakening and expressing. But a value for self absolutely is involved in this new beginning. Self-value, self-love. Now, the ending, the closure and the completion, it has to do with intense, deep, buried emotions. Okay. It is emotions that might have been shocking events that were related to friends, to group energy. Did you have friends that were unique and different? Maybe they were very smart, something about them. They even kind of seemed like humanitarians. This is like astrology energy as well. So, like scientists, very smart people. There's a bond to these individuals. There's some sort of a bond, past life stuff, a history. It invokes like these intense, deep emotions, but a soulful bond. So, there's an ending happening, an ending and a closure. And it's around the middle of the month. So it's like there's soul bonds that are severing, but it's a healing. And so a letting go and a release of these intense things that have occurred that may have stirred up deep emotions, and a healing because of it. Let's pull that card. Whoa. Okay. Now, don't anybody freak out. Okay. This is actually a beautiful card. I know it seems dark, but it aligns with the intense, deep emotions I talked about earlier. And that's exactly what this sign is right here. This is Scorpio energy, and that is where your ending is happening. It's happening in your 8th house. And this card lines up with that. It's crazy how it's happening every reading I'm doing it. Here's again the mother, the emotions, the family, right? This is family and mom. But there's an ending. And this is a metaphysician. It says, I can take these deep wounds from the past and I can do something productive with them and change my beliefs, make them positive. This is Sagittarius. This is Jupiter. I can help others. I can spread the goodness. Jupiter is very giving. It loves to help others. It's very giving. Let me turn this to see. Yeah, this is like an audience of people. This almost has like a cult like energy in a way to it. But again, to me, this would speak more of those friends that you have, the past lives connections. All right. Yes, this kind of screams Christianity, but this is an upside down cross. But this is about religion in general, we're going to say different religions. And yes, Satanism is considered a religion. Doesn't mean that this card represents that. This is just explaining, because in essence, this is a five-pointed star. A five-pointed star in ancient symbology represents man. Okay. And so being a metaphysician, being able to take emotions and to transform them. And when we transform, we literally transfigure. We change who we are, like our appearance changes. It's because the energy that we hold actually changes. Once our energy changes, we start dressing differently, we start acting differently, and we change who we hang around with. Like one day the hoods come off, or we stop hanging around those individuals. Again, this is letting go of some deep, intense stuff related to the past. Okay. Scorpio's bonds from the past, being bonded to things that you did. Something may haunt you, right? Because of that darkness. There may be something that once haunted you or still does. Jupiter is here to help you. You're releasing and let it go. Yes, there's an audience. We're taking this and understanding that with this ending, this closure, okay, this is letting whatever you feel has been holding you back emotionally, you're releasing it and you're letting it go. Family heritage, right? Family lineage. You have the ability to transcend this energy, and you're closing it out. When we talk about the new beginning, at the end of August for you, Cancer, your new beginning is how you talk and relate and communicate. I love this. I was kind of leading up to that about how you're inspiring, courageous Leo, optimistic ways can encourage and inspire others. And that is what this is. You're going to do it in a practical, tangible way. It has to do with your daily routines, the practical, tangible daily routines, possibly a new job, a new task with how you live. Literally, your domestic side of life. This is about health and health routines. Okay. Let's pull the card and let's get more details on this. But it's about the way you relate and talk and communicate. It can be sibling energy. It can be neighbors energy. It can be people who live around you. Like me, I have housemates. So this could be that kind of energy, because siblings, even though they're not my blood siblings. But it's kind of like sales in a way, and talking. It's really got a strong Gemini vibe to it. So it's got everything to do with your mind and the way you think. And see, you let something go and we have a new way of thinking, but it's very much about your day-to-day routines. Could be pets too, domestic pets, so cats and dogs. But something new is beginning, and it's a new project, a new routine. It could even have to do with a job and some work. It could have to do with the internet, by the way, and social media, vlogging, blogging. Yep. Let's see what we got. Interesting. We have the sun energy. This is Leo. And over here, we have strong energy, boss energy, Capricorn energy, responsibility energy. So there's a new job. This is what this represents, a new responsibility. A job is the same as a burden. Depends on your perspective, because this doesn't look good, but Saturn, which is what this is, the sign of Saturn, is somebody who is old. This kind of has a little bit of a negative aspect to it. It doesn't have to be negative, so don't see it that way. There is sun shining. A job brings money, but Saturn is wise because Saturn has lived. Saturn is old. And that's what this card is trying to show you, that it's someone who's older and wiser. And so when they're older and wiser, they're given the responsibilities. Now, Saturn is about the tangible side of life, tangible responsibilities, which is the rock and the stone. Okay. It's smart and it's wise. It's old. It has the authority. Okay. I also want to make a mention that Capricorn and Saturn energy is the bones of the body. It's not just like stones are the bones of the earth. Okay. So there's a lot of wisdom there. But in the body, it's the spine, It's the teeth, it's the knees. Okay, that is Capricorn energy and the responsibilities. All right. So let me turn this card and get a better look at this. It's interesting that Leo is here in the money and the values. And I'm saying money because it was in your second house for this one, right? The Leo energy I talked about, and the sun is Leo energy. Taking careful steps. This person is being very cautious. They're being clear as to where they're going. They understand their journey. They're prepared, right? They're carefully holding this on their back. They are looking up, even though it seems like they're definitely hunched over, but it's because the weight of this burden. There's a lot of weight on their back. There's a heavy burden, but this represents a new beginning. And it's interesting because it is tied to health. So there looks like there might be a new health routine, a new health habit that you're going to be taking on. You're choosing this, okay, because you have decided to take responsibility. That's what these two things mean right here. You are taking the responsibility. The sun in Leo. It may be creatively inspired, but it has to do with you possibly sharing it with others because it's all about the third house and just sharing your journey being in the second house, being inspiring to others, possibly making money. Holy smokes. Can I talk any faster? This is just how it's coming out. I love that the blue is down below. I know you probably there's some blue there and green here. Prosperity is green, blue is healing. I love this. This can be so positive. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy though, okay? Because this is work. It's work. It's just plain and simple. It's work. But it involves you being able to stand out and to be positive and optimistic. So this is good. This is really good. But there's something you're going to be doing. A new thing you're beginning has to do with your daily routines. And it's likely going to make an improvement in your life, even though it will feel at first, of course, like there's a responsibility involved. But this is you choosing you, Cancer. So happy August. So below the video, I'll have all the degrees for those of you who like to pay attention to the degrees in your chart. Again, if you don't know and you want to know, just comment below.